Flossie Frizzle was a beautiful creature. So gentle, so sweet, so good-tempered was she, that to look at her no one would ever suppose she could do anything that was not kind and good and honest. Yet Flossie could, and often did, play very mean tricks upon her kind friends. But I have not told you who Flossie was. Indeed, you may think she was a beautiful, but very, very sly little kitten. She was an Angora kitten, and, like all the real Angoras, was quite deaf. Sometimes I think it was because she was deaf, that people forgave her faults so often. Everyone was sorry for her, and, to tell the truth, everyone loved her, for she was like the little girl the poet tells about. When she was good, she was very, very good. But when she was bad, she was horrid. Now the person who suffered more than anyone else from Flossie's naughty ways was Mary Ann, the cook, and no one was so patient with her. Flossie liked to sit in the kitchen window. The window seat was broad, it was a sunny corner, and Flossie found it very comfortable. There she would sit, and seem to be asleep. But she would be watching Mary Ann out of the corner of her eye very slyly. Sometimes Mary Ann would look up and say, "Flossie, are you planning mischief when you are quiet for so long? I always expect something is going to happen." And Flossie, though she couldn't hear, always seemed to know that Mary Ann had spoken to her. She would sit up very straight, and put her head on one side, and look at Mary Ann as if she was saying, "Why, how can you think such hard things of me? Don't you see how quiet and good I am?" One morning Mary Ann was busy making pies. There was to be some kind of a party in the town hall, and everybody was going to send something for the supper. Now the lady with whom Mary Ann lived had promised to send some pies. They were not common pies at all, but something quite remarkable, a kind that Mary Ann could make better than anyone else in town. Mary Ann was proud that she had been asked to make them, and she meant that they should be the very best anyone had ever tasted. A great many delicious things went into these wonderful pies. After the crust was baked, the top of them was covered with eggs all beaten up white and frothy, with bits of red jelly sparkling over it. Mary Ann spent a great deal of time over the ones she was making for the town hall party. She was so busy she forgot Miss Flossie, who sat in the window slyly watching her. After a while Mary Ann had to leave the room for something. She was gone much longer than she had thought she would be. When she came back, what had happened? Sly Flossie Frizzle had eaten the top off from 3 of the pies and almost every bit of the 4th one. Do you wonder that I call her Sly Flossie Frizzle? Mary Ann almost lost her temper. She flew at Flossie with her hand raised. She was going to box Kitty's ears. But what do you think Flossie did? Almost any cat would have jumped off the table and ran away. Not so, Flossie. She looked up at Mary Ann with such an air of surprise. She looked so gentle, so sweet, just as if she was saying, "Why, Mary Ann, have you made a mistake? I thought you were making these nice pies for me. I am really very sorry I have eaten them." Then Mary Ann's hand fell to her side. "It's no use," she said. "I haven't the heart to box those poor deaf ears." All she did was to open the kitchen door, as she cried, "There, be off with you." And then patient Mary Ann went to work and made 4 more wonderful pies. You may be sure she did not leave them where Sly Flossie Frizzle could get at them.